Hi everyone, welcome to Modern Hmong Girl. It is just your girl Lex today because Emmie, as y'all know, is in Asia. She's currently in Japan right now, having the time of her life as she should. So it is just me today for today's episode, and then next week that will be also me too. But we're gonna have fun together. We're gonna have a fun episode together while Emmie is still here in spirit too, because I could just feel her energy in Japan. Like, I'm just thinking I'm there right now eating all the good sashimi. Like, I'm jelly, but I know she's gonna bring me back some good souvenirs. It may not be food, but I can taste it because, yeah. Anyways, happy AAPI month. Obviously, we did not forget. We know it's like, is it the middle of May already? I feel like the days are going by so fast that I just don't even know what day it is anymore. Like, I keep this little calendar thing where I flip the numbers to remember what day it is. So I think it's the 11th or 12th today. Basically, we are already halfway of May, which is crazy, but May is AAPI month. So in honor of that, we are going to be talking about the patriarchal and patrilineal system of the Hmong culture. And y'all, I was really getting deep into it. I was getting so deep into it, I wrote a motherfucking paper. Yup. And if you guys are viewing this, you guys can see my paper. I have it on the screen right here. And we're going to be talking about it, okay? We're going to be breaking down the barriers, talking about what does patriarchal and patrilineal mean? What's the difference? And how does it influence our Hmong culture and society to today? Okay? Excuse me. It's going to be a very intense episode, I would say. It could even be very, what's that word? It could be controversial, and it's meant to be controversial. It's meant to be discomforting because we got to be comfortable or we got to get uncomfortable to be comfortable. Okay. So, okay, let's start first with, some articles that I read, okay? Like, these articles are so freaking amazing. So the first one I read was by Bao Lo. She is at the California State University. I don't know if she's still there, but this amazing article she wrote in 2017, Gender, Culture, and the Educational Choices of Second-Generation Hmong American Girls. Ooh! I advise you guys to read this, and I will have it linked in the description as well. But this article, it just hit home run, and it made me remember why I have this podcast, why Emmie and I created and built this podcast, and I love it. The second article was by Bo Tao. Hmong Women's Dialogues Project, Our Voices Create Our Future. And it was a project of the Hmong Women's Action Team. And this was in January 2007. And this, it was beautiful. There was a retreat in 2005, and they conducted the women's research through there and published this article. And it was just so expected to hear these Hmong women's voices and answers of the questions that were being asked. Just the typical Hmong culture, Hmong woman culture questions like, oh, what do you think about doing chores all the time? Or what do you think about women's roles in the Hmong society and culture? Same answer over and over. And mind you, this was from 2005, and now we are more than 10 years. This is 2025. See, I'm thinking this is 2026. Wait, is it 2026? Not y'all catching me in the act, but it is 2026 already. What the frick? Wait, no, it is not. You guys, something is wrong with me right now. I have to check the calendar. What year is this? It's 2025. Oh my God. Lex, stop living in the future and come back to the present. Okay, because I'm a very futuristic person, so I'm always living in the future. I guess I'm already in 2026, y'all. But yes, so this retreat was in 2005, and it's 2025 right now. So it's been 10 years. And most of these answers are still the same. So what's going on? Let's dive in. All right, so now we're in my paper. Okay, so I'm just gonna go off on my paper right now. And so first point, there's a major disparity between Hmong girls and boys concerning education. And this is based on education, but it will be also based on culture and society and how both girls and boys, women and men, play their role in the American society while having Hmong culture as well. So, in Bao Lo's article, Gender Culture and the Educational Choices of Second Generation Hmong American Girls, published in 2017. It pertains research about the difference between Hmong high school girls and boys culturally, mentally, emotionally, and academically. Ultimately, girls are more motivated to achieve and pursue education, to enter mainstream America, therefore to rejecting Asian ethnic culture and femininity. Let me repeat that. Girls are more motivated to achieve and pursue education, to enter mainstream America, therefore to rejecting Asian ethnic culture and identity. Okay. I definitely could relate to this 100%. The Hmong culture stems from a patrilineal and patriarchal system, leaving the woman to be stoic. Bringing this culture to America leads the young girls to equate gender egalitarianism with white femininity and mainstream America culture. Since white femininity normalizes gender equality, it motivates them to pursue education to obtain gender equality, all the while rejecting their own culture because it is viewed as deficient or lacking. For instance, a study in 1998 about Vietnamese youth found that social control or protection provided by the immigrant culture, the parents, and the community produced positive outcomes such as educational attainment, particularly among the girls, as the culture was stricter with females. Findings from Lowe's research determines that Hmong girls have a more promising pathway than Hmong boys. So in the research, Lowe asks the girls, so this article right here, it is the Gender Culture and the Educational Choices of Second Generation Hmong American Girls. This article right here, the author, Lowe, asks the girls questions as to why education is important to them. And their answers consist of wanting to leave their home and be independent because they didn't want to live a life like their parents wanted them to. The girls saw an inequality between how they were getting treated versus how their brothers were getting treated, and this was the main motivation to get equality and equity. This reflects the personal freedom and greater gender equality offered by U.S. cultural norms that are more favorable to women. All right, turning the page here. Thus, the American family and Western culture normalized and served as the ideological template for which they ascribe and measure their negative experiences in the Asian family and ethnic culture. This challenges the gender norms of the Hmong culture through education. Hmong boys and men find it harder to open and share their experiences and feelings. Since the Hmong culture is brought up by a patrilineal and patriarchal system, it was brought over to America. While gender equality is lawful in America, it challenges the societal norms of the Hmong community, but because the Hmong culture is patrilineal and patriarchal, the importance of Hmong American boys are more than the Hmong American girls. This arises an issue with Hmong boys unable to express, leading to toxic masculinity due to the lack of autonomy. This causes Hmong boys to decline in their studies and enjoy the American mainstream economic status. Traditionally, the Hmong culture has prioritized men due to the low economic position. However, with the shift to a more stable economic state, Hmong boys now find themselves without the same sense of purpose. Let's let that sink in. Like, you know, that is a huge shift. That's a huge difference from Thailand and Laos over to America. We can't always keep the same culture, the same monkey as we call it. It doesn't make the sense. And so the rise of Hmong girls achieving success has shifted roles, making the traditional patrilineal and patriarchal expectations less relevant. And so, because it is less relevant, as a result, many Hmong boys are left without a clear role, having been sheltered or coddled in their upbringing. Ultimately, the Hmong community must confront the gender inequality that exists. This can be achieved by openly discussing sexism in a way that focuses on understanding rather than assigning blame or shame. The goal is to foster learning and create gender equality and equity. Those in positions of power must be deliberate in closing the gap between women's and men's access to opportunities and resources. By doing so, we can build a stronger future where both Hmong girls and boys can succeed together, united in their potential. Period. That's literally the goal of what we want to get towards. So how do we do that? How do we close that gap of inequality and inequity? Because there's a huge disparity, and the bridge between our new generation and old generation, I feel like it's a rickety bridge. Like if you step on something, it will just fall. Like the bridge will just fall because the differences are too much. It's too much where our older generation is just not willing to listen and not willing to accept, because that's just how they grew up, and that's all what they know. And I respect that. I do respect that that's all what they know, but they also need to understand is that we are in a new time. We're in a new world. We didn't grow up like you. And thank you so much. We're so grateful. We're so blessed that we are in a different country, a different place, a better economic state than you have ever been. But I think that for our generation, we need to do our homework on innovating our Hmong culture and religion. Personally for me, and I know a lot of other people feel this way too, is that we just can't live the same like how it was before. Men always have power, right? They always have power in the Hmong culture. And so women, they are often oppressed. They are often oppressed. They don't get to say anything. Yeah, they can say something, but their words won't count. It's not going to be accounted for anything at all. Let me let me collect my thoughts right now because I don't want to get too raw, you know what I mean? That was ugly. See, that was I don't want to get too ugly, okay? I cannot tolerate myself in a patriarchal and patrilineal environment because it's sad when women enable it as well. I know that they don't intentionally enable it, but they grew up with it and that's all they know, you know? And so it's like I like they are trying to, I guess, in their own way, but then they grew up with this culture of men is everything. Men is power. Men is, you know, I have to listen to men. And that is what they know. And so they're going to follow with that. And I just can't stand women like that and men like that because it feeds into their ego. And so it's just like, how do I get you out of this? You are brainwashed, you know, you're brainwashed. But, you know, I do respect their upbringing and how their beliefs are structured and whatnot. But it's just really sad when, you know, women, they don't know that they are being oppressed and they have so much potential and they're smarter than the man that they're worshiping. But you know, it is ultimately up to that person to grow and change or not. And so, yeah, you can never force someone to change their beliefs, change their morals, because that's just who they are. And so, this brings me to the term of when men and women tell other women to 我先得, be patient. What kind of fuck shit is that? Okay? Like, what kind of. Those words alone, it just has so much context to it. It has so much subliminal meaning that when a Hmong girl or Hmong woman hears it, they get automatically pissed off. Like, don't tell me that shit. Like, those 3 words of the Hmong vocabulary put together in that order is just, it doesn't even have to be in that order. If I see those words, I'm gonna be like, get that out of my face. So it's like when we hear those words, we're just like, fuck you talking about? Be patient, bitch. Don't tell me that. You've been telling my ancestors. Ancestors know that too. And I bet if they were to come back to life, they'll be like, fuck that shit. I'm not gonna be patient no more. I've been patient for so fucking long. Because when they tell us to 我先得, they are telling us to oppress ourselves. They are telling us that our feelings don't matter, our opinions don't matter. What matters is save the face. Save the damn face. Who even are you to save your damn face? You fucking work at a factory job. Why do we have to save your face for? Like, who knows you besides your family? Like, unless you are, I don't know, a celebrity, then yeah, like, it makes sense. Like, ooh, don't be doing scandals, you know? But if you are like, I'm sorry, there's nothing to save there. You just got to save yourself. And I'm not even trying to be mean here, you guys. Like, see, I already put a disclaimer out there in the first video that this may be a controversial video. And once when I do release this, I know there's going to be a lot of people saying shit. But here's the thing though. We have to be uncomfortable to be comfortable. Like, these are topics that we have to talk about, you know? And yeah, there may be some things that I'm saying that I may sound ignorant, but please just let me know. And I am being as respectful as I can in this video. But if y'all feel attacked, then I feel like you should reevaluate yourself. Okay? So, yeah, I just feel like there's a lot of meaning when people tell us to 我先得 because there's nothing that I have to be patient for anymore. Like, don't excuse how you feel to me because your feelings do not overvalidate my feelings. Yeah, but there are just a lot of things that our culture can definitely do to be better. And I think what our new generation can really do is promote this. Be self conscious about where you place yourself. When you go to Hmong events, include everyone, include the woman. Especially if you're a man. If you're a man, like the man always gets a seat at the table. All times, okay? Y'all already know those big old white tables set up, and then we put the white tablecloth over it, and then us women put the food on it. That table is not made for women, period. And we all know that. Those big old white tables, we all know that. Those tables are meant for the men. And if you're a damn man, bring your wife to the table. Bring your girlfriend to the table. The fuck? Like, we all gotta be together, united, baby. Like, that is how we are gonna make a better future in America. Please. And therefore, create new roles. You know, like the men does not always have to have leadership roles. Women can say their 2 cents. Woman can be a part of whatever decision making is going on in the family because we're fucking smart. We know shit. We don't need to stay quiet. If we lose face, so what? Are we still losing money? No, my bank account is still fat. Like, no, my bank account isn't fat, but still, like. And so I leave you with this, that we don't have to hate being Hmong, because I used to hate being Hmong growing up. I used to be like, bro, this race, this ethnicity fucking sucks. I hate being this. I wish I was something else. I wish I was white. I see all these white folks out here living their life, you know? But now that I am older, I understand more. I know that there's beauty with my culture, and I know that we can get to a better future. We can innovate our culture, and we can turn it into something more beautiful than it is now, because there is always room for progress. That's what I always believe in. And so our generation is really upcoming and growing. Like, I'm 26. My generation is definitely going to be getting to their 30s soon, okay? So we really are upcoming. We are going to be the new adults. And so we really have to promote that equality and equity within our culture. It cannot keep being the same. And I understand that, you know, that is what we grew up with and that's all what we know. But it really is up to you if you want to better it or change it or just stay the same. Because if you stay the same, then to be honest, you can't be mad if people are changing, if people are going places and you're not. So ultimately, we are better together in this movement, and I hope that you guys could relate to this episode. And I think that there's a lot of things that we have to do. There's a lot of homework, there's a lot of events, there's a lot of talks and discussions that we must do to elevate our community, woman, man, non-binary, whatever you may be, whoever you may be. We are better together. So happy AAPI month. I love my Hmong people. I love my Hmong community. I know that our community is gonna stand so freaking strong, and we're just gonna be so much better together. Like, for my Hmong brothers and sisters out there, y'all know what I'm talking about. Thank you so much for watching this episode, for tuning in to this episode. I am so happy to just have talked about this. It has been something so heavy in my heart ever since I was a little girl. Like, I wanted to say this shit so bad, but I was too scared to say it, and now I'm not scared to say it. So there it is. Take it or leave it. And so you can find Modern Hmong Girl on all social media platforms at Modern Hmong Girl, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Spotify. And you can find Emmy's Diaries at Emmy's Diaries on Instagram. And you can find me at Lex Galaxy on Instagram and Facebook as well. Thank you again for tuning in. And I think that's it. So yeah, love you guys. See you soon, girlies. Mwah.